and food is, I think, a lot. It's a lot more powerful than we actually give it credit for. I think our society has definitely kind of downplayed the role of food in our lives and what it can and cannot do and what it does actually bring to our lives. I was reading an article the other day, and this may be way off subject or whatever, but it was talking about taste and how we taste things, and our body, the act of tasting new tastes actually builds new receptors in our brain. Like that alone, like that blew my mind. I was just like, what? Like, so if I taste something that I've never tasted before, like that's building new receptors in my brain. Like that's amazing.
Right.
And like that's a huge connection to food and my body.
Huge.
Like
that's your ability to learn and gather new information, right? And to like adjust and adapt to your environment. Correct?
Right. So yeah, so like hearing that, like just the simple act of tasting something can bring growth to your life, and bring new things to your life. Like that is just, it's beautiful and kind of scary and dumbfounding all in the same way. Like, it's pretty cool.
And I'm interested right now in this idea that there's this notion coming from biodynamics that we can actually create new, like completely, totally new plants species by working very closely with them throughout time.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a lot of sense to me about how if you save your seeds and you recapitulate your seeds and work very closely with them, you're going to be constantly drawing in new forces from above and below, these cosmic forces. And over time, those forces are going to change. That plant is going to change. And if you consume that plant or work with that plant, your mind is also going to change, based upon what you just said, And I think that's the cool thing about what I'm learning right now through biodynamics is that like science is finally matching with like the unseen, or like science and art, science and the spiritual are merging now. And there's just so many confluences between the two. And that just excites me. I don't know, because I think there is beauty in art, there's beauty in the unseen, there's beauty in like the unseen world, that we all know as human beings, like I don't know, just communicating, right? Gathering around food, right? It creates a certain environment that like enlivens your heart.
Definitely. And I think,
right?
Yes. And I think food has the ability to transcend any difference that any person can come up with. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to speak the same languages. We may never have known each other before, but if you could put a plate of food in front of us, I guarantee you by the end of that meal, we're probably going to be talking to each other and or conversing in some way or shape or form, whether it's through grunts or smiles or nods or whatever. Like food can bring anybody together, any kind of person together to another person. Like I think food has that power of just equal. Like, unfortunately, I wish food was more equally obtained and be able to be eaten, but unfortunately it's not. But I feel like there's a power in being able to. I just think food transcends language differences, whether it's religious or non-religious or whatever it may be. Like food is its own language, and it can be shared with whoever.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious to know a little bit more about your experience with FARRMS this summer.
Yeah.
Like maybe how long, how many different farms you went to.
Sure.
Just how that experience was overall, maybe.
Yeah.
And then what the organization is too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So FARRMS is an organization where they procure government allotments and or grants and whatnot. And what they do is their mission is to educate individuals on agriculture and to